All right, welcome to This Is the Place, brought to you by We Own This Town, where we discuss the ever-growing and shrinking bar and restaurant options here in Nashville, Tennessee. My name is Matt. Across from me is Michael.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, the sun is out later in the day. It's getting warmer. I received my second COVID vaccine last week.
Well, dang.
So I think very soon I will be going to eat inside a restaurant.
This podcast is about to get a lot better.
I think so. Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because not only is it maybe going to directly affect things I do at home and at work, but definitely with this podcast, it will open some things up for me. And also, my wife, she got her first shot.
Nice.
A couple weeks back. She works for health centers, and she doesn't work directly with patients, but she got a phone call that, hey, we're going to have some wasted doses if you don't get up here.
Yeah.
And so she ran up to one of those centers and was able to get her first shot. So she feels very, very happy about that.
I bet.
I know it was a bit frustrating for her. Just one of the many parts of her job was coordinating a lot of this COVID distribution and with a lot of the health centers. So she was talking about it all the time on the phone with Department of Health, and yet she couldn't get the shot, and now she got it. So she's very, very happy about that.
Yeah, that rules.
Yeah. So we, in about a month, I think we will feel comfortable with going inside a establishment here in Nashville and or anywhere and eating. So yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, that's extremely exciting. I think that's a nice reminder to listeners. Please pay attention to the vaccine news that's going around. Like around the time that we're recording this, there's a huge vaccination event happening at Nissan Stadium. There, 10,000 people have signed up to get vaccinations.
Wow. That's awesome.
They're going to do that again and again, and just keep paying attention to whatever Twitter or Facebook or Instagram you happen to use. You can have an opportunity to get it.
Maybe there's, I don't want to say there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but, I think with the administration announcing by May, hopefully there will be enough shots out there for everybody who wants to get that wants to get a shot can get one, that, we'll be in a better situation than we were last year. That's for sure. I mean, I don't want to say things are going to be back and any sort of normalcy to how they were, but it'll be better. I think everybody will feel a lot better. The people that want to get the shot, hopefully that will induce people that are questioning.
Everyone should get the shot.
To get the shot.
If you don't want it, email us.
Right.
We're on Twitter at This Is The Place.
That's all right. I haven't plugged that in a while.
We have not plugged that in a very long while.
Failed. This is THA Place. This is the place.
This is the
Instagram
place.
And Twitter. So doing good, ready for spring and summer. That being said, I am sad about a closing that happened.
What has happened?
Well,
what has closed?
And you know it very well. It's kind of, it's been closed for a little while now. When I say a little while, maybe a month. But I'm talking about Rotier's.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that was closed?
I did, but I can't say that I feel sad about it.
Really?
No.
Is it because you never liked it, or
I thought it was fine? If it's one of those places, it's like a Nashville institution, and it's been there for forever, and it's got such charm and character. And I agree, it has charm and character in spades.
Yeah,
it's fine to eat there.
It still had a Galaga machine. It probably was there in '85.
If the thing you love about a restaurant is the arcade games that they have, that's not a good restaurant.
That was an add-on, extra add-on. That's all. That's all I'm saying. My all-time favorite game was Galaga. So
it's just it's a very meatloafy place. Like that's a place you go and get a meatloaf.
It is. And definitely the way you lean now, that is not appealing, but. You're right. It was known as a meat and three.
Right.
So if you weren't into just getting a vegetable plate, then,
And here's the thing about being a vegetarian that goes to a meat and three. I love a vegetable plate. Give me okra for days.
Right.
Love it.
Right.
Most of the time, you can't even get a vegetable plate that's not been soaked in chicken broth or some sort of meat-based thing. Like you can't even, in the South, you can't get green beans without bacon mixed in there. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So... it really wasn't for me. I don't know. I'm not sad about it. I'm sad if they had to shut down, not out of a choice. If they had to shut down because of COVID sort of just destroying their business.
I think it was something that was inevitable, whether COVID happened or not, from what I understand. I mean, they did a couple of years ago go to a lunch-only hours. I think they were only open 11 to 3:30.
Never a good sign.
Every day. And I think it was a slow death.
Yeah.
Honestly. I really think and then what hastened it was some realtor group out of Brentwood bought that, like Emma's flowers, and bought that whole property.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that all that is just going to get torn down, and who knows what's going to be there.
I'm more upset about Emma's. That to me is a Nashville. If you've never seen the Emma's Flowers commercials,
right,
that is a Nashville institution.
Yeah, and that pink building. I mean, you can't mess it. I mean, I think Emma's it's not going anywhere. I think they're gonna move, or they'll still be around.
Yeah.
But I loved Rotiers. And in full disclosure, I mean, I had not been there in at least 2 years.
Yeah,
when
you're part of the problem.
When I am. I admit it. But I loved going there and eating. I mean, their hash brown casserole was. I mean, it was, to me, it was kind of like a better Cracker Barrel, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
But you mentioned meatloaf. I mean, their meatloaf was, to me, the best meatloaf in town.
Yeah.
I loved their fried chicken, their green beans, and their hash brown casserole. I loved it. I mean, they were known for their cheeseburger with French bread. That was their thing.
Right.
I mean, it was just great. We used to go there when there weren't nearly as many food options. 10, 15 years ago. We went there a lot.
Yeah. I will definitely miss their sign outside.
Yeah,
they had
I mean,
a very
it's a classic
cool sign.
Yeah. So I think the guy that Charlie, who was kind of the face of it more so than his mom, when she I think she died like 6 or 7 years ago. But I mean, it opened in 1945.
I mean, they did it.
They did. I mean, 75 years is a hell of a run.
They did
a hell of a run. So you can't be too upset about it. But I think like the niece and nephew maybe are going to try to, I don't know, do something, but somewhere else. But I have a feeling, I mean, it won't be the same.
Yeah.
So
maybe
we'll see what happens. But still, a little bit nostalgic for me, I would say, more than anything.
Right.
But, still sad to see an institution. It is.
It was
in Nashville.
Sure. Yeah.
Move on.
In other news that I have heard about Meat and Threes that's positive, I think Arnold's has like extended hours now.
I mean, they're taking advantage of the tourism, which is
good on
100%.
them.
Yeah, because I saw it's like Arnold's at night or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I don't think it's called that, but they're just open in the evening and they're doing drinks and other things like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's an institution. You want to talk about institution. Arnold's is an institution.
Right. Yeah.
Another one I would not be sad about if it closed. Honestly, no offense, Arnold's.
I haven't been to Arnold's in forever, but it is funny how if you read interviews from like chefs that are opening restaurants in Nashville that have come from New York or whatever, and they talk about, like, somebody asks them like, what food do you love? Arnold's almost always comes up, and I don't know if it's because of its truly amazing meat and three, or if it's just an institution. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I haven't been to Arnold's in years either.
Yeah. I can't get a side plate there without getting heart palpitations.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah, totally. So, it's, it is what it is. But, but I'm glad for Arnold's.
I'm glad for Arnold's. And you know what I would be really upset about if it closed? I would be devastated.
What?
Copper Kettle. That's my jam, man.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
It is good. I mean, we used to go when we lived over on that side of town. Their Sunday brunch, we'd go there a lot.
They used to have that downtown location, and it closed. I was like legit bummed.
Really?
Yeah, it was great.
I don't even think I ever went to the downtown.
It was pretty
location.
cool. I had a birthday there. That's how much I liked it.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I will say I am happy to announce that an establishment just had their 2-year anniversary.
Okay.
And it's a restaurant that we talked about a while back, St. Stephen. I don't know if you remember. St. Stephen is a restaurant in Germantown that opened up in the location that was originally Kuchny and Keller.
Oh, right.
And that place lasted maybe a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked about it on either the first or second episode.
You love that chef, right?
No. We're getting there.
Okay.
No, we're getting there. No,
Okay.
but it was like, German type food, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I don't know, it just couldn't handle, I don't know what happened, but it closed within a year. And then Mop and Broom opened.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that's City House, the Tandy Wilson.
Yeah.
Sorry. He went in there, and I don't even know if Mop and Broom lasted like 8 months.
Yeah.
It was not there long.
Yeah.
Loved Cushing and Keller, really liked Mop and Broom. And then St. Stephen opened it, but then I thought, like, is this one of those locations? It's sometimes
Cursed.
there are these cursed buildings that just for whatever reason cannot hold on. These establishments cannot stay there. So I'm just happy for St. Stephen that they made it 2 years. I mean, 1 year and then another year through a pandemic.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I think they just celebrated their 2 year just a couple weeks ago. So I'm just happy for them.
Yeah, congratulations.
I've been there a couple times. It's been a little while since I've been there, obviously, because of the pandemic.
Well, you just got your second COVID shot.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back soon.
Right. So kudos to them. I'm just happy for them. So yeah. And then any openings, closings, I can keep going unless you want to.
I mean, I have. I wanted to give an update that on a previous episode I had mentioned a restaurant called Cooper Branch was opening up downtown near the library, and it's a vegan chain of restaurants. It's the world's largest chain of vegan restaurants.
Oh, okay.
And that opened up, and I had an opportunity to go get some to-go food from there, and it's not going to be my full pick for the week, but I just wanted to tell everybody that it was awesome, and they have a huge menu. And
sorry, did you say it's in the library?
It's next to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the same street. So, that little park that's right there by the library, it's basically across the street from that.
Gotcha.
I think you would maybe projected that a Subway used to be there.
Yes, I did.
I don't know what used to be there, but if it was a Subway, it was enormous because this place is big.
Really?
There was no one in there. It was definitely set up to be not really dine in right now. It was definitely a to-go sort of situation. I imagine during the work day, during the work week, lots of people will be able to go in there and eat. It was really good, super good. So if you're looking for a vegan, vegetarian option with a lot of variety, big menu, it's a really good suggestion.
Nice. Well, right by it, I don't think we could not talk about this opening I'm talking about the 5th and Broadway.
Sure.
Opening.
Yeah.
And it is a huge place. They've been working on it for years. And it originally was the old convention center. The building was, I don't know if they just tore down that building. They may have.
Yeah.
I think they did.
Yeah. It's just on that lot.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I seem to recall them tearing down the convention center. So
did they? Okay. Yeah. I
don't know that that's a building we should have preserved.
No. Oh no. So 20 years ago, I was a bellman at the Renaissance Hotel, which was attached to the convention center. And I went there I would take my bell cart when there was the scrapbooking convention going on at the convention center and load it up at the hotel with scrapbook boxes and take them down to the convention center. And
that's so sweet.
Yeah. Or the NAMM convention, load it up with guitars and take it down there. And that's my association with that convention center. So I'm glad it is gone. I'm not that I had bad experiences, but that was my experience with the convention center. I was there a lot
with scrapbooking
more than I wanted to be. So I was there. I think I worked there a couple of years. But anyway, so 5th and Broadway. One cool thing about it is that there is the first Black-owned restaurant downtown now.
Yeah.
With Slim Husky's opening at 5th and Broadway, which is historic. I mean, I think it's worth mentioning.
It is historic and amazing and 100% flabbergasting that it's just now.
Yeah, that it's just now.
It's 2021.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Kind of ridiculous.
So I mean, congratulations. It couldn't be a better restaurant to be down there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
Totally. Those
but
guys
it's also
are doing some amazing things.
The mirror reflection is how shameful it is
Right.
that it took that long. But big ups to them for being in there. It's really exciting.
Yeah, I was really hoping to actually bring some goodies from one of the places down there. There's a Le Macaron French pastry place. I'm familiar with most of the eateries. Well, some of them are brand new, but like Shake Shack, Slim Huskies, those are, Hattie B's, those are the ones everybody knows. But then there's like Cava and Eddie V's. Cava's Mexican place. But Le Macaron, I was hoping to come with some macarons. For us to taste and talk about.
Sure.
Because that's like the one place that really interested me down there, but I just didn't have the time.
Sure.
Next time, maybe.
Well, I'll just dream of a small little cookie.
Yes, yeah.
A little cookie sandwich.
Little sweet thing. But it is, so there's a food hall with all sorts of different restaurants. And then the ones I mentioned, I think, are not part of the food hall. They're standalone bigger restaurants within Fifth and Broadway. And of course it is lots of retail as well.
Sure.
I mean, I can't imagine I'll be going there very often at all.
I mean, can we be clear? This is a mall. This is a nice mall.
Yeah. It's a nice downtown mall.
I mean, it's a bunch of retail shops and it's a bunch of good places to eat, like in one complex.
Yeah.
In my brain, that is a mall.
Yeah. They tried to do, the current library, that's what they tried to do back in the 90s. And that was, I don't know what developer tried to do that back in 1990, whatever.
Wow.
Because nobody was going downtown back then. But so it obviously, I think, is going to be catering to the people that are downtown mostly now. Which is fine. I mean, it's great to have that establishment there. I think it's fantastic to have.
I'm not saying that as a pejorative.
No, not at all. No, I'm really happy that space is being used in that way. I think it's great. It is funny. Like, so we, on a sidebar, we just don't go down. I just don't go downtown very much anymore. We went to the Picasso exhibit.
Oh, right.
And great. And afterwards, it was, mid-afternoon on Sunday, and Libby and I were like, oh man, we got to find some coffee. But we didn't want to, try to park somewhere. So we tried to go to Intermezzo, but it just didn't work out. But anyway, we got caught in downtown traffic.
Oh.
And it's the first time I just hung out. I've been down there in quite a while. And now that it's getting warmer weather, and I think they opened up bars. They open till 1 o'clock now, and they're just more people down there, the party buses and whatnot, and yeah, I mean there was just like party bus after Pedal Tavern, and we were just laughing about it, and my kids are kind of quiet in the back, and then Julian just says, "Where are we?" He was just like, "What is going on down here?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's valid.
It's a fair question.
Fair question."
Yeah.
I
don't know if you heard or not, but in downtown Nashville, COVID's over.
Right.
Yeah, COVID's over.
It's done.
Yeah, it's
definitely not down there.
You got it handled downtown.
Down there. So. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure I will go down to Fifth and Broadway at some point, just to maybe check out I do want to get the French macaron, but yeah.
I mean, once I'm able to get into an Uber comfortably, I think, going downtown, because I don't like dealing with the parking or paying for any of that stuff. I'm just not a fan. So if I can take a ride share down there, once the vaccinations are done, then I'd be excited to check it out. I'm looking at their list of eateries that are in the food hall, and there's tons of great stuff here too. Like Coco's Fresh Italian Market is in there, Desano Pizzeria, Donut Distillery, No Bake Cookie Dough. Okay, I'll eat cookie dough out of a mason jar. Well, why not?
Okay,
that sounds fine.
Sure.
Thai Asan, I've eaten there, I believe, before. Pharmacy Burgers in there.
Oh, it is. Oh, in the food hall area.
Pharmacy Wurst. That's up your alley.
It is up my alley. Check that out.
Yeah, and I think lots more are coming. There's a lot more listed on their site, too. I'll link it in the episode description for all of y'all listening. But, yeah, this is like... It's many places to eat.
Yeah, I can't even talk about everything. There's so much going on down there. So, yeah, just, exciting to have that downtown. I will say there is a new place that is opening in Franklin that I just wanted to briefly mention.
Wow. How did you even get this news?
There are ways. I think it's open. I'm not sure if it's open yet or not, but it is delivery only. So they're working out of another kitchen. But you're familiar with Guy Fieri?
Oh, quite.
He is opening a Flavortown here in Franklin, and like I said, it is a delivery only place. So I'm not sure where it's based out of, but say what you will about Guy Fieri. I mean, I think he's a polarizing figure. But you can kind of assume what kind of food. Lots of burgers, lots of wings.
Let me tell you a story here, Matt. I got a story for you.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah,
great.
So one, Guy Fieri gets shat on a lot.
Yeah.
And Guy Fieri, for all of his awful hair and terrible shirts and terrible goatee, his physical appearance that everyone wants to mock, is actually a really good person.
Well, that's what I've heard. I was going to mention that. I've just heard from
I'm on
various
board with Guy Fieri.
Yeah, that he's like super generous.
Yes, like using his own money and his own resources to feed like displaced people during California fires, just out of his own initiative and pocket, like taking it upon himself to do that. Like he's a good dude.
Yeah. I totally know. I read that. I remember reading a little while ago that he raised like something like $20 million for the like restaurant association to like divvy amount people within the association could sign up and get grants basically from it. I mean, whatever you think about the guy, he's obviously like very, very nice guy, very compassionate guy.
Sure.
So
his Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives show, if he visited your establishment, it actually was very good for your business.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Unlike something like John Taffer's show where he bar rescues. Like I think those places tank after he leaves. But Guy Fieri actually is a good thing. All that said, I have lots of good things to say about Guy Fieri. I went to Flavortown in Times Square.
Oh, you did? Okay.
As a goof. I had gone to a very fancy event. I was in a suit. And I was like, oh, it would be so fun to go to Flavortown because that is the opposite of what I think of Flavortown. So I went and sat down, Times Square, watching all these people come by. It was awful, Matt. It was awful. We ordered a plate of French fries and 2 beers.
Okay.
$50. Now, these are New York prices in Times Square, so I doubt that's what's going to happen in Franklin.
Yeah.
Our table was nasty. There were flies in the place. God. I believe that establishment has since shut down. But if Flavortown can't make it in Times Square, where can it make it?
Well,
that's the perfect place for it.
Yeah, we think so, but it might make it in downtown Nashville now.
To go sounds way better. Yeah. None of those flies or dirty tables. You just get your $50 French fries to go.
Right. And you can get your donkey sauce.
Get your donkey sauce for sure. So I'm intrigued, but also don't live in Franklin, so it's not an option.
This is more informational. I'm not saying that. I know you won't get it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to they probably won't deliver up here anyway.
To our Franklin listeners, please hit us up. This is the place. Yeah. And let us know what you think about Flavortown.
Yeah. Yeah, please do. Moving on, I will say Tailgate Brewery, we talk about restaurants all the time. We used to talk about bars a lot more, breweries a lot more, but I just wanted to mention that they have a certain beer called Thanks Paul that I think this is the 3rd season that they have put it out, and it's a hazy IPA. I think it just came out. You can get it at any of their locations, but it is, so Thanks Paul. Paul McCann is the Nashville Predators announcer, and the can just looks amazing. It's a picture of him and a picture of Crazy Kyle, who is the organist.
Okay.
I mean, it's like illustration.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe Peke Ren is on there as well. But it's a pretty popular beer. I've had it. I think I had it last year. Very good. And I mean, the Predators need all the help they can get right now. It's not good.
Oh, are things not good?
Oh, God.
I'm so out of the loop on sport. What is happening with the Predators? Very briefly.
They're terrible.
Oh, they're just a bad team?
I mean.
Oh, I thought you meant they needed money.
Oh, no. I don't think they need money. No. I think they're doing okay. No, it's just
who cares if they're bad? They'll just play again. It's fine.
they will continue to play.
Yes. People get so pinned up. Like, I can't believe my team lost.
I know.
Wait 8 months, buddy. They're going to play the same thing again. It's going to be fine.
That's true.
You're going to be okay.
That is true. I think they're going to get a reboot. I think a lot of the people, they have almost the same group of guys who went to the Stanley Cup like 4 years ago. And, I don't keep up with them enough to know like who's better and who's not, and like what happened, why they suck now. But they do suck now, so I think they're going to be.
They still got Nash.
Of course, they got Nash.
That's all you need. Who cares about the rest of it? Nash is the only important part of the Predators.
Okay, all right. Well,
he's Nashville's best mascot. I said it.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I know we got this soccer team coming up. They're going to have a mascot.
Oh my God.
But it's not going to be better than Nash.
Have you heard the theme song for the soccer team?
I haven't.
I have season tickets, so I'm on board with NSC.
Now I'm excited that it exists.
I love it. And of course weren't able to go to like hardly any of the games. They finally opened it up, this fall.
Yep.
And I went to, I think it may have been the last game of the season, and there was a theme song that they played, the Nashville Soccer Club theme song, and
is it a honky tonkin'?
No, it's not. It's supposed to be this like inspiring, like get up and I mean it's weird. It's like one of these like slow songs and then in the chorus does the ooh ah like sort of thing. Anyway, it's terrible.
Wow.
And I'm gonna have to be listening to it a lot, I think, when I
talk to me in a year, and I bet you've come around. Because you're going to hear it so much, and you're going to love the team so much.
You should watch the video of it because it's kind of hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm taking a note.
Thanks, Paul. Tailgate Brewery. It's back. It's in season. If you liked it last year, go check it out this year.
I will definitely check it out. I hadn't heard of it until now. I love a good IPA. So
Yeah. It's great. So you want to talk about any food that you've...
Yeah, I actually recently I went to a place this week. I have a spot on my list that I've now neglected for multiple episodes, but it's a place that's been around for a while.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll stay around for a while. I'll come back to it. I ate at, and I know I'm going to butcher the pronunciation here, Epice. Epice. Epice?
Mm-hmm. I think it's Epice.
Epice. It looks like the word spice starting with the letter E.
Yeah.
It's a Lebanese bistro. It's down in 12 South, right at the very end of 12 South.
The proprietor from Kalamata's.
started it. We got to-go food. We had hummus. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to mess up hummus, but it's also hard to make memorable hummus. And this was memorable hummus.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Falafel, super good. Like, definitely tasty, right amount of moistness. And then we both had salads, the Epice salad and the peasant salad. Both wonderful, like really flavorful, like some goat cheese in one of them, some just great ingredients, like really tasty undertaking. I was really pleased. And then I snuck in a side of potatoes because I just wanted to know what they do with the potatoes.
What do you mean?
I ordered all this food. I got salad, I got hummus, I got falafel. That's a dinner.
A meal.
That's a full dinner. But I also ordered a side of potatoes because I needed it. I needed to know.
Yeah.
And the potatoes are sort of like shredded, like a fingerling potato, almost like a French fry, like in that shape. Whew, so flavorful. Unbelievably good.
It's funny because we were talking about that place maybe 2 weeks ago. We went there when it first opened, and it's been open for a while.
Yep.
And we knew that the owner of Kalamata's, was his deal, and we loved it. And I think we went back once, maybe. I just don't get on that side of town very often anymore. But yeah, I remember thinking the same thing. I mean, the hummus, I'm sure it's the same hummus that was at Kalamata's back in the day. I would think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was great. And that's what I think Libby brought it up a couple of weeks ago. It's like, man, we need to go back there.
Yeah.
Because it's been too long and it's too good.
Yeah. I can verify you should go back.
Yeah.
The interior of the place is beautiful. Like, it's really well done. This really interesting stone structure on the walls. There's a nice patio out front that you can sit at. And in these times, that's definitely a plus. Maybe get your vaccine first. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little pricey. I mean, it's a high-end place. It's like it's not like Kalamata's. It's not casual like Kalamata's. So it was a little more expensive. But I think the price and parking were my only complaints. Everything else was extremely
Just real briefly, I mean, I think we used to go to Kalamata's in Green Hills years ago. Have you been there at all?
No.
We went there. Well, it must have been pre-pandemic because we went and ate inside with the kids. It must have been right before that because it hasn't been that long. And I don't know if he is putting everything into Epice or what, but it was not good.
Oh wow.
That's
upsetting. I loved Kalamata's.
It was weird. It really was a weird experience. First of all, I guess just because it's Green Hills, they jacked up their prices. It used to be very reasonable.
Sure.
I mean, granted, it had probably been close to 10 years since but they had actually structurally changed a little bit. You know, the establishment next to it, they
took that over,
tore the wall down. So it's bigger. It used to be pretty tiny. And I don't know. I ordered some of the same stuff I used to order. Maybe it was the price a little bit that stung, that I felt like it was just lunch.
Yeah.
And
you're like $20. Jesus. For
the four of us and with kids menu items, I think it was like almost $60. You know, it was all I can say, it was just a weird experience. It was just disappointing. That's all. Because I used to love Kalamata's. Part of it was atmosphere, the owner being right there doing the salads and everything, and talking to everybody. And this was not the case at all. And it was just odd. Anyway.
Well, no, I haven't been there in a really long time. I try and avoid Green Hills at all costs.
Yeah.
Even though I know the back way into Kalamata's, still not going.
Yeah.
Don't like Green Hills.
No reason.
But, you know, Epice.
Yeah, no. It is, and that's what I'm saying. Like, who knows what's going on, but Epice is fantastic. So we will maybe be going there in the near future.
As a vegetarian, there weren't like a ton of options, which I was sort of surprised at. Actually, I really thought that there would be more options for vegetarians. But there are a lot of meat options there. So it'd be really interesting for you to visit and give me your perspective on what you had. I think there was only like one other item I could have ordered, which was the roasted vegetables, which I will order in the future. But, you know, I was feeling the salad. Salad looked really good. So
yeah, totally cool.
Went for it.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we were wanting to get some pizza. And I had heard that there was a new chef at the Van Dyke Hotel. And he has...
Is the Van Dyke, where is that?
So that's right next to Bongo on the east side.
Got it. Right by 5 Points.
Right in the heart of 5 Points. And so I can't remember the chef's name. I had no reason to mention it. I'm not sure where he came from, but he is running the kitchen there now, and it's called St Vito It's Focaccia. Focacciaria.
Oh, I'm gonna have to see that one spelled out.
Focacciaria. Yeah, I think maybe that's right. So it's a very, very small menu. It's only a couple of pizzas. So it's Sicilian pizza. Okay. So it's called, I'm going to spell it, Sfincione pizza. I pulled up how to pronounce, and I'll see if you can hear this.
Sfincione.
I hear it, but I can't repeat it. Sfincione. Okay.
So I think when most people think of Sicilian pizza, you think of like Chicago deep dish maybe, because that's, I think, kind of based in Sicilian. You know, it's more thicker crust pizza. It's square or rectangle pizza. But this is what they call it, is Sicilian street food concept. Okay. And also I wonder, like, I feel like in the last year, street food is the buzzword now. You know, it used to be like, I don't know, farm to table or whatever. And now, like, you got hawker street food and you got chattable, which is Indian street food. And now this is like Sicilian street food, which that's an aside completely.
That's a great observation. Very true.
I don't know what, I mean, I think they're trying to say, oh, it's this like very easy, you know, cheap, except none of it's cheap.
I know. Well, when I think of street food, I think of what I call street meat.
Right.
Which is like you find a hot dog vendor and you eat that. Or in San Francisco, there used to be just food vendors that were selling, random stuff, random meaty
Right.
items.
Right.
And they were ultra cheap and
Yes.
ultra fast, and the quality was questionable.
Yeah.
So it's odd
Right.
that is the new farm to table, because it's
It
like,
kind of is. Yeah, I know. I mean, not that I'm knocking it.
Sure.
It's fine, but it's pretty funny. But anyway, so St Vito, they have a couple of items, and it's the classic Vito Sfincione
Sfincione.
and the potato Sfincione, and you can get it by the slice, or you can get it by the rectangle.
Mm-hmm. By the pie.
Whatever, by the pie. Thank you. So we got the potato because I was just like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's very curious. And so it's focaccia. So it's not Sicilian, like thick, deep dish. It's very, so the reason they call it Sfincione is because that means sort of like spongy.
Mm-hmm.
In Sicilian.
I mean, focaccia bread is one of the best breads.
Oh yeah, you're a big fan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's good. And so this is almost like, I don't want to say a dessert, but it's very, I mean, you definitely can eat it as a meal, but the bread is very soft and spongy.
Yeah.
And even though it is thick, it doesn't taste like, oh my God, after one small slice, I'm going to sit on the couch and fall asleep.
It's not very dense.
It's not dense. Yeah, totally. So we got the potato. The potato is great. It has potato cream on it and crispy fried potato toppings. It was really good. I will say, Libby, she went to go pick it up, and she had to wait because it does not take long to cook. And she got there, and the guy was like, look, I'm sorry. I overcooked it, and I'm making you another one.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a nice attention to detail.
And so she was like, well, I guess I will sit here and have a drink. And she just, as an aside, the Van Dyke, she was just like, we need to go have a drink there. She was like, there was one other couple at the far end of the bar, just not, I don't know if it's because it's a hotel or what's going on with it, but she was like, nobody was in there. I felt totally fine having a drink there. But she's like, the bar is like super cool. It's very cool.
Well, it has a back patio too. Like a very,
I didn't know that.
I wouldn't call it spacious, but there's a nice area in the back with like AstroTurf and picnic tables, and you can have a drink outside. So you don't even need to feel super comfortable being indoors, because you can take your drink outside. Now that it's springy, that's definitely an option. I love Van Dyke. Like it's such a weird outlier for 5 Points. Like it does not have the right vibe for 5 Points.
Right.
It seems very clean and corporate, where like Three Crowbar is just sort of ramshackle. Like the bike shop there is very DIY, and Fido's been there forever and has like a board game studio in it or whatever. Like it doesn't have the right vibe, but it's a good bar. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I'd never been in there. And I know Mickey talked about it quite a while when it first opened, and he really liked it a lot. So anyway, that was just a plug for the bar itself.
Yeah.
Regardless, love the pizza. I thought it was really good. So if you're looking, I think, we had talked about Roberta's New York style pizza a couple months back, and this is not that at all. It's a very, very different style.
Oh, I'm extremely excited. You're talking about focaccia-based pizza.
Yeah.
Those are worlds that I didn't think could be combined.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I can't wait to try that.
Great. I want you to, the classic looks good. I kind of wish we had gotten the classic. I will say, 2 pizzas, it won't be cheap. We only got one. We're like, kids, you're going to have to get the Totinos. I'm sorry. We're getting the one potato.
Kids love Totinos.
Yeah, they do. They would not have liked these anyway. Yeah. But I'm definitely going to try the classic soon.
Yeah, the next time.
I'm going to visit again. St Vito.
Yeah, it looks like there's a smoked eggplant one as well. And an olive verde with a bunch of words I don't know how to pronounce. Yeah, this is pretty interesting here.
Yeah, it's cool. So I hope that sticks around. I hope they're doing well. But anyway, we definitely appreciate the attention to detail that they gave us, and
love it.
It was a great pizza.
Yeah, I love it. I love to hear it. I'm excited to try it, and we'll do so.
I got one other thing. Do you want to go ahead? Do you got something else?
No, I'm going to hold off. Let's hear what else you got, and then we can get into our music.
All right, sounds
See what
good.
you got.
All right, so I'm from Memphis, right? I think that's well established.
Correct.
I'm
You
from
are.
Memphis, and I like my barbecue.
Yep.
And so there's a new barbecue place that I wanted to check out,
Okay.
and it's called Shotgun Willie's. It has been around as a food truck first in 2017. And then they opened up in May of 2020.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Opened up a barbecue shop, and it's on the corner, basically the corner of Gallatin and Riverwood. If you know where Sip, the coffee place is,
I do.
We love that's our local coffee shop.
Yeah.
It's across the street, kind of diagonal across the street. From
Okay.
it. But it's attached to a bodega that's right on the corner. So deep into Inglewood, right there. And so kind of backstory, I think the guy's from Houston. So it's Texas
Yep.
style. Shotgun Willie is a tribute to Willie Nelson. I believe that's actually a Willie Nelson song.
Okay.
And they have a out front small patio area. Inside, maybe 4 or 5 tables. It's not a huge place. I think half those tables are roped off. So,
Right.
But you go inside and you realize, like, whoa, this guy loves Willie Nelson. It is a lot of Willie Nelson memorabilia decor on the walls, like everything from albums to pictures to whatever.
Hey,
and Texas, obviously.
When you got a theme, go with your theme.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Why not? So I will say the Nashville scene, they won Best Barbecue for 2020.
Oh.
So opened in May, won Best Barbecue 2020. So there was an expectation going in that, this is going to be some good barbecue.
The bar is way too high.
Yeah, totally. So since it is Texas barbecue, I ordered brisket and I ordered a 4-bean baked beans on the side and a poppy seed slaw.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I'll go ahead and start with the side items.
Okay.
The 4-bean baked beans, I think it's the best baked beans I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
It was, and we need to find out if there's any animal product in it or not, because I mean, if you like baked beans, like
I love a baked bean, but what you're describing, I can almost guarantee you that there's something animal based in there.
Good chance. Good chance.
At a Texas brisket barbecue place.
Yeah. So it kind of had a mildly tangy mustardy flavor to it. That was kind of the flavor. But the bean, oh my God. I mean, so good.
Good
really,
bean.
really, really good beans.
Okay.
So I was so happy about that. I love slaw. The poppy seed slaw was really, really good. I mean, I don't dislike most slaws. It takes a lot for me not to like a slaw. Mm-hmm. I mean, I loved KFC slaw back in the day, even though it was like 80% sugar.
Yeah.
This slaw was great. I mean, it's very light, very, 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 very light.
Not too like vinegary?
No, not too vinegary. It definitely had a little bit of that, but it, you definitely tasted the poppy seed flavor. It was good. The brisket, I realized that I'm probably biased because Memphis barbecue, I mean, it's pork, right?
Yeah.
Brisket is cow.
Right.
And I thought it was okay. And I think what has happened is I think I finally have just come to realize that I'm just not a fan of brisket. I think I just, based on where I'm from and what I grew up with, I prefer ribs and I prefer shoulder. And I love shoulder more than anything else. Mm-hmm. You go online and you see people talking about how amazing the brisket is. It's just so good, so good.
I mean, best of 2020.
Nashville scene said it's the best of 2020. And it's good. It is good. I mean, it was very tender. I tried both hot sauce and mild sauce. The best thing about it was you get your sauces, you got your brisket, and you get a side of pickle, and you get onions with it on the side. I think like vinegar, soaked onions. And I putting the onions on the brisket was the best thing. I love that. It was good. It made it better for me. I just don't like brisket. I think that's what the deal is. So
Yeah.
I want to go back and try the ribs.
Yeah, I think you got to. I think you owe it to Shotgun Willie's to give them another chance.
Right. And they do have shoulder, but I'm always like, they're from Texas. Do they really know how to cook shoulder? Because it's a different thing.
See, that's even worse. You got to go and you have to order the thing that you like. I understand you're from Memphis, but you're trying to compare this. Like, I think comparing brisket to shoulder is apples and oranges. It's a different animal. Like,
it is. No, it is completely. And like, so my wife, like, I think she prefers brisket, you know, and I'm always just like, am I missing out? Am I like wrong? But it's just people have their preference. That's all it is. And it's maybe based on history. I don't know.
Yeah. Sure.
So he's there, like, I mean, he's slicing the brisket's right there on the slab, and he's like slicing it, and it's very, I mean, it's for real, you know. It's obviously a real deal sort of place.
Yeah.
But I'm just not my thing. So I will go back and I will try the ribs and I will try the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it seems like it's a pretty popular place. So their hours are Wednesday through Saturday only for lunch, 11 until 3:30, or until they sell out.
Yeah.
And so I got there at noon and their chicken was already sold out.
Right.
When I drive by there, coming and going down that road, almost always I see the sold out sign on there. So I think they pretty much sell out of their meats.
You got to get there early.
Yeah. I mean, by 2:00, it's probably too late. So I would say if you want to go there for lunch, be there for lunch.
Yeah.
Be there by noon.
Yeah.
Be there no later than 1:30 if you want to eat. But it's a cool place. I mean, I really like the place, and I think it is getting popular. I think both people in front, just by hearing, I just was there by myself, hearing them in front of me and behind me were from out of town and had heard about it.
Oh, that's awesome. Their sides look amazing, all of them. And the amount of praise that you gave the sides that you did have, I got to tell you, you got to go back, man. Like, you got to try it again.
Yeah, I will definitely.
I don't really endorse you going eating more meat, but in this case, they've won so many accolades.
Yeah.
I think now that your expectations are tempered a little bit and you're going to maybe order something that you like, could be a better experience.
Yeah, I agree. I will say that they seem very socially conscious, which is very cool. They do a couple of things. They talk about like where they get all their meat from.
Sure.
They talk about how they're doing the recycling, and they also talk about how they are trying to reduce their carbon footprint with using TerraPass, if you've heard of that.
I haven't heard of it, but I'm looking on their website and see that they use like renewable energy credits.
Yes. So I totally give props to them for that. You know, they're trying to do their part to make this world better, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So fully endorse that, and I will be back soon.
All right.
And I'll give you a report on the shoulder.
All right. Yeah, please do. You want to switch into our closing it out with music recommendations?
Yeah, let's do it. I will say, first off, I've taken to pandemic, you know, everybody changes certain behaviors. They do new things. And one thing that I have started to do is jigsaw puzzles.
Okay.
You know, you're trapped in your house. What are you going to do?
I don't think you're alone in that, Matt. You know?
I'm sure. I'm sure. But so I think probably the week after we recorded last, I listened to your recommendation, the Les Ales, and like I listened to it twice in a row when I was working on my jigsaw puzzle. I think it's great. Like I purchased it.
Yeah.
Very, very like impressed. I don't know who did the arrangements. I don't know if that was McCarthy or
me
whoever,
neither.
but I really, really dig that record.
Yeah, Riley DeGarmo kicking butt with that. That's the main songwriter's name. She's fantastic.
Yeah. Good
So
choice.
are you saying that your recommendation is also part of a jigsaw puzzle, or are you just giving me accolades?
I was just saying, I'm giving you accolades because I listened to it 2 times straight in a row.
That's great. That's amazing. Much appreciated.
Yeah,
Glad.
definitely.
You want another recommendation?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Hit me.
this one is, I really love this a lot, and it just so happens that it's near and dear to your heart almost.
Okay. Interesting.
You'll understand once I tell you the name of the band. The name of the band is The Feature.
Okay.
Singular.
Huh.
Not
Wow.
not the
Really?
features that you all may, if you are from Nashville, you are likely familiar with the band The Features,
Yeah.
which Mr. Meeks was involved with for a very long time.
Yeah.
I spent a great deal of time with
Yes.
The Features.
Yes.
This is The Feature.
Okay.
Singular. It is a collaborative project between two electronic musicians, Eve Merritt and Adrian Frank, both of which create their own solo stuff,
Sure.
which is great in its own way. But they've come together, have put out one song called Space Freeway, and it's under the name The Feature. And
Interesting.
I love it. It's a kind of long form, dancey sort of number, very spacey. I mean, it's called Space Freeway, and it lives
For a good
up
reason.
to the name. Eve Merritt and Adrian Frank, I really like a lot of what they do on their own. Adrian Frank generally has like some more 80s style production, and Eve Merritt is much more just like cosmically out there. But the two of them together it really works very well.
Awesome.
So there's only one song currently,
it.
but an album is supposedly on the way. So
Bandcamp?
Bandcamp for sure. So I will link it in the episode description. Highly recommend checking it out.
I will.
Being on the forefront of knowing about The Feature, not The Features.
I know.
The Feature.
I like that. Interesting.
It's a whole new guard, Matt. Like
It is.
Our
Oh my
era
gosh.
is officially over.
God.
There was a band called The
Yeah.
Features that was popular for 20 years,
Yeah.
and now it's time for The Feature
Feature.
to take over.
I appreciate it. I wonder if they've ever heard of the Features.
That's the thing. I don't think they have.
I'm sure they haven't.
Yeah,
Young kids.
kind of love it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, my recommendation, I don't think we ever talked about this band. I want to say we did, but then I'm thinking maybe we didn't. So they had a record come out last year, and again, because of the pandemic fog, I don't remember when. It may have been in September, or it could have been in May or April. But did we ever talk about Peel Dream magazine?
Nope.
So let me ask you something, and this is a rhetorical question for you. Do you like My Bloody Valentine?
Yes, indeed.
And I think this is a rhetorical question for you as well. Do you like Stereolab?
Yes, indeed.
Then I think you will like Peel Dream magazine.
Wow. You've now set my expectations. Sky high.
So they're from New York. Listen to the most recent record that came out last year, the first track, and you're like, whoa, wait. What B-side from My Bloody Valentine is this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is ridiculous
Okay.
how much it sounds like My Bloody Valentine, but in the best way possible.
Sure.
I mean, I think they're trying to not rip off My Bloody Valentine. I think they're just doing their own thing, and that's what the first song is. You listen to track 2, and you think, what B-side from Stereolab is this? I know they put out lots of EPs and singles, and it's very easy to miss songs from Stereolab because they have a very, very deep catalog.
Mm-hmm.
But what is this? And then you listen to track 3 and you realize, oh, this is Peel Dream magazine.
Ah.
And they get into their own groove, I think, after that. So like the first track, I mean, it's kind of comical how much it is like My Bloody Valentine, with not only the guitars, but even the back and forth between the singers, the kind of cooing of Belinda Butcher that, from My Bloody Valentine with Kevin Shields.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like the earlier stuff, like the pre-Loveless stuff a little bit. And then you get into the next track and it's Stereolab, and then it's more vocally kind of like Letitia Sadler and Mary Hansen, like the way they played off each other in the Stereolab early days.
Yeah.
Which is different from My Bloody Valentine vocally.
Definitely.
So you hear that, and then they kind of get in their stride of being who they are, I think. There's always obviously elements of their influences in the music, but it's a very, very enjoyable record to
Interesting.
listen to.
Is this a full length or an EP?
Yeah, it's a full length.
Is this Modern Metaphysic?
No, that's their old one.
Is it Moral Panics?
It's Agitprop Alterna.
Okay. Yeah, the artwork's amazing. Like all their artwork, just as a cohesive unit, is really impressive.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're fans of those bands, you will really like this record. I mean, and I think they kind of keep on getting more into their own.
Sure.
And honestly, the last 4 tracks are my favorite, because I feel like this is them. This is their sound. It definitely harks back to what I mentioned earlier, but it's not that. It's kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
And it ends really, really strong. So yeah, I love that record.
I mean, everybody steals from everybody else. Like,
Yeah.
Not even intentionally, but you listen to My Bloody Valentine, then you become a musician. That's going
Right.
to influence you.
Yeah,
It's going to happen.
But I think at first you're like, is this My Bloody Valentine karaoke or what is going on? I personally they're one of my favorite bands.
Yep.
And if you can pull it off and it sounds great, then I have no problem.
Sure.
I'm always up for a new My Bloody Valentine song.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. It's really, really
I love
good.
it. I'm gonna get a puzzle and listen to this and do a puzzle while I
You
listen
should.
to.
You might listen to it twice.
Yeah, probably will. I'm excited.
It's a quick 40-minute record. I would definitely recommend going with this record. The last one is good, but this one is where they start to get in the
Fantastic.
groove.
I'm so stoked. Your
Awesome.
recommendations thus far have all been very solid. So
Well, thanks.
I'm excited to listen to this one.
As have yours.
Thanks.
So anyway, it's been fun, and we'll do this again very soon.
Yes. Now that
I cannot wait.
vaccines are coming out, man, we
I
can start
know.
eating at more places and doing this more
it's
regularly.
Very, very exciting.
We can be in this room together without masks and a glass shield
Very
between
glad.
us.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that day. So in the meantime, remember to eat up, drink up, and if anybody asks, this is the place to be. See you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
The show is produced by We Own This Town. Find us at thisistheplace.show. Find us on Instagram at thisistheplace and on Twitter at thisistheplace.